Hello, this is Greg from Intech. Over the years I've been a distributor for Aditel, for Fluke and other process control instruments, and now at Intech for the, amongst others, the Mr. Signal function generator. And I can tell you unequivocally it is by far the best value proposition at 1/4 to a fifth of the equivalent models from Fluke or BMix or from Aditel. This thing is super loaded with functions. It also represents a fairly steep learning curve. While some of the others are quite intuitive in how to use them, this one a little less so. So this series of videos will be designed to hopefully teach you some ideas about what we can do with this instrument. On top of the instrument, like most of the other brands, we have out terminals and in terminals. And on the keyboard we have an out button and an in button, and these will be some of the important ones for you to remember about. Now, for example, if we select out, we see a 3x4 matrix showing some of the functions that you can generate on the instrument. So milliamps and volts, you can simulate a transmitter, frequency in millivolts and resistance. You can simulate RTDs of several types, and you can simulate all sorts of thermocouples. And this 4x3 matrix mirrors the 4x3 matrix of the keys, so that while there are extraordinarily small letters above the keys showing you what they are, unless you're 15 years old, you're not going to be able to see them. But we just know that these mirror what's here. So for example, let's say we wanted to source milliamps or simulate milliamps. We can see that the first key is milliamps. So if we hit that button now, we see a display showing milliamps. And in a similar way, if we were to hit the in key, we can measure milliamps, we can measure voltage, we can measure frequency, we can measure millivolts, etc. in the same way. So you really do have all the functionality of the big brands as well. Let's take milliamps for example. So I've selected button 1, so just to show you that again, button 1 is milliamps. We know that we're looking at a loop of 4 to 20 milliamps, and we can use the cursor keys to move to where you want to adjust, and we can use the up and down keys to go from 4 to 20, and we can see that 12 milliamps representing 50%, all the way up to 20 milliamps and 100%. And we've selected out milliamps. There is a graph as well. I've really not done much with that at this stage. Now, if I demonstrate using my uber cheap multimeter, one of the other functions you need to be aware of is that for doing the setup, the output can be set to go and it's not running yet. And we use the on key to turn on the input or output. And up in this corner, we'll see a run light come on. So there we are at 4 milliamps, and there we see on my cheapy meter that we're reading just over 4 milliamps. I suspect that this is the correct result, and my cheap multimeter is what is out of spec, or at least out of display accuracy. So, etc., etc.